Hi, friends. Welcome back. If you've ever tried to heal anxiety, depression, burnout, or just emotional overwhelm and felt like something was missing from the process, you're not alone. Most traditional approaches focus really on only one part of the system, which is usually the mind. But in my experience, real lasting healing requires something much deeper, a holistic, whole person approach that honors the mind, the body, the nervous system, and our spirit, our daily actions, our connection to the divine. And today I'm going to walk you through 5 really powerful yet incredibly accessible tools that form the foundation of true holistic healing. By the end of this video, you'll understand how these 5 pillars work together to create natural momentum toward emotional balance, self trust, and mental wellness. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Amy Rose White. I'm an integrative psychotherapist for nearly 2 decades, and I make videos on psychospiritual self healing tools. So, most people try to heal exclusively really through thinking, even if that's just talk therapy, analyzing the problem, talking about it, trying to change thoughts with more thoughts, which can only go so far. Here's the truth: the body is really the place where healing actually happens. Our body carries our emotional memories, tensions, and an old residue from shock and trauma, any unresolved experience, our fear responses, and our coping strategies over a lifetime. Our nervous system learns through sensation, not through intellectual insight, really. So, the first step in holistic healing is actually to develop awareness of our body's experience, noticing where do we feel tight, where do we feel heavy, where physically does emotion actually show up right now in the moment that we're experiencing something. What sensations rise and fall throughout the day? What does anxiety actually feel like in the body? What does calm feel like in our unique bodies? So we can try this right now. Take a deep breath, settle into the space that's holding your sit bones, and ask yourself, what is my body feeling? What do I notice in this moment? Not why it's feeling it, not how to fix it, just simply what am I sensing? When we do this, it builds emotional literacy. It teaches us to recognize early signs of overwhelm before we spiral. And it increases our tolerance for emotion, which is really important for mental wellness. It grounds us in the present. Healing begins when we stop kind of fighting that internal experience and we stop and start listening to it. Pillar number 2 is empowering actions, so acting as if to shift the thinking. So we do get to talk about thinking, and this is how we get really practical. A core part of holistic healing is realizing that we don't fully need to believe the positive thought we'd like to believe to act like it's true. Belief often comes after action, not before. So here's how it works. You notice a limiting thought. I can't do this. No one cares about me. I'll always feel this way. Why even try? And then instead of debating that or trying to fix it, you just take one small empowered action that aligns with a more helpful thought. So, for example, the thought, I can't do this, if you notice that, then we would just sit down and send an email. No one cares. Text one safe person. I'll always feel this way. Take one 5-minute walk because movement changes our state. Why try? Go drink a glass of water or tidy one corner of your home. When our actions shift, our self-trust grows, and self-trust fuels healing and new belief systems. That healing builds new neural pathways, and that's how we get unstuck, not through fixing the mind or perfection, but through tiny movements in the direction of well-being. And if we act as if we believe change is possible, then our brain actually starts updating the story. Pillar number 3 of holistic healing is nutraceutical support, where we nourish our brain and our nervous system. So let's talk about biology for a second, because holistic healing honors the physical foundation of mental health too. And I want to share a few evidence-informed, widely tolerated, meaning by most people, beginner-friendly nutraceuticals that support the brain and nervous system. And as always, of course, check with your healthcare provider before starting anything new or anything I talk about on this channel. But number 1 is magnesium glycinate. This is my number 1 recommendation for stress, anxiety, sleep quality, and nervous system regulation. Most of us are actually deficient. And magnesium glycinate calms the body without sedation, which is really nice. The second would be high quality fish oil or omega 3 fatty acids. Those reduce inflammation and they've been shown to improve depression, anxiety, cognitive function, and overall mood. Our brains need fats to function, and most modern diets don't provide enough. The latest research shows that the therapeutic dosage is anywhere between 1 to even 9,000 milligrams of combined EPA and DHA. Those are those long chain fatty acids that you'll see on the back of your high quality fish oil. You can take it in a form that's capsules, but to get to the therapeutic dose for emotional and mental wellness, we typically need to ingest it in a liquid form so we can get up to that higher milligram dose range. Up to 3,000 milligrams has been shown safe for pregnant and nursing women, so generally most of us can fall somewhere in that and know that it's safe, as long as you're taking a high quality form of it. Next would be methylated B complex. These support the methylation cycle, which is the biochemical process that helps our body absorb nutrients to produce serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, and that gives us energy. It helps our detox pathways, and it basically gives us regular, even, healthy mood. So if our B vitamins are low, our mood will reflect it, and those are water soluble, so we circulate through them really quick. Methylated forms like methyl B12 or methylfolate, that's what it'll say on the back of your vitamin. And I recommend a food-based B complex. Those are better absorbed for most people. Next is trace minerals. So minerals like zinc, selenium, magnesium, again, that are often deficient for those of us with mental health concerns, are so important to add because they support energy, mood, immunity, and hundreds of metabolic processes. Even mild deficiencies in trace minerals can actually create emotional instability. These supplements help create a really good biological foundation that makes emotional and spiritual healing easier. I think of them as soil that our wellness grows in. Now, not everyone needs to take vitamins, but if you're not feeling like yourself over time, particularly if you've ever had a baby, now I'm starting to include everyone. I was going to say, or if you're over 40, but basically if you're alive, I think you probably could benefit from at least one, if not all, of those foundational nutraceuticals. That, again, is just my opinion. Ask your care provider. Pillar number 4 is movement and play. So we must make time to release stress and increase joy, because movement is not just about exercise, and it's certainly not about punishing our bodies. To me, it should not be about burning calories or fixing anything. Movement, especially playful movement, is emotional medicine. Every time we move our body, we release stress hormones, we downregulate our nervous system, we increase dopamine and norepinephrine, those feel-good motivational chemicals. We move stuck emotional energy out of our fascial tissues. And here's the most important part that people often miss. When movement is enjoyable, healing follows. And healing should absolutely include pleasure and play. So start at your level if you don't already have a regular movement practice, and adjust to your abilities. If you are chair-bound, I'm talking about, like, can you put on music and move your arms? If you can only move your eyes, can you do it in a silly way? Can you move what parts of your body can move without pain in a way that actually feels fun for you? And ideally, we're working our way towards 20 or 30 minutes of movement that we genuinely like. So in addition to some of those examples I just gave, if you have a little more mobility, you could dance in your kitchen, jumping on a rebounder. I've never found anyone that jumps on a trampoline and doesn't start smiling. Taking a brisk walk, and the obvious ones like swimming, yoga, hiking, biking, or my current obsession, because I'm a dancer and I do lots of different kinds of dance every week, but line dancing, I'm telling you, that is just one of the most fun ways to move your body and connect with people. Whatever that is for you, because movement does not just heal our body, it awakens our spirit. Cultures over thousands and thousands of years have moved and danced and connected through rhythm. It reminds us that we're alive, and it helps us reclaim joy again, one playful moment at a time. Pillar 5, inviting the divine in. So spiritual connection and guidance in our lives is imperative for true healing. This includes our spirit connecting to something greater. We don't have to subscribe to a specific religion or any belief system. We don't need some perfect faith or perfect spiritual practice. We just need willingness. So here are some simple ways to invite the divine into your daily life. Writing down your worries, and journal freely. What am I carrying today? What feels heavy? What do I want help with? This externalizes that weight just by getting it down on paper and pen. Next, asking the divine to remove them. So you can say, God, Source, Spirit, please remove these fears and guide me. Please show me the next right step. Help me to know your will and give me the power to carry that out. This is not weakness to ask for divine support. It is alignment. It is about acknowledging that our unique spirit, that this current meat suit in this incarnation is carrying for us, it's the vessel for our spirit, is connected to the one, the universal spirit. And when we're not well, when we're feeling sick, when we're down, when we're overwhelmed, when we're just exhausted by life, we can lose the connection to that being part of something greater. And that's why asking for help is so important. And I want you to try this. Ask for a specific sign when you are asking the divine for help. So something like, if I'm on the right track, show me a pink bird today. Or you could ask for a feather or a number of a certain kind, or a song, a phrase, an animal, for a person to say something oddly specific. These signs build trust, faith, and connection, because I promise that when you ask, you'll receive. So you have to soften and open to receive that. The divine can't force its way into our life. We have to open the window. And asking is opening. So when you invite spiritual support in, your healing accelerates emotionally, physically, and energetically. And when you ask for something specific, be open to it showing up in a myriad of unexpected ways. So asking for a pink bird, unless you live in Florida, do they actually have flamingos in Florida? I think they do. Or an island or something in the Caribbean. You might not see an actual pink bird, or who knows, I don't know, maybe you will. Where I live, we don't have pink birds here that I've seen. But you might see a pink bird that's on a sticker on someone's water bottle at your yoga class. Be open and you will receive, I promise. So remember, connect to your body, sensation, and emotion. Choose an empowered action and acting as if to build self-trust. Try out a couple of these nutraceuticals to build the strong foundation of your house, your body's temple. Engage in movement and play every day, and ask the divine for spiritual guidance and signs. These 5 elements support our biology, our psychology, our energy, and our spirit. I hope this was helpful. If you found it useful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video above and in the next one next week. Until then, bye for now.